the computer as a teacher's tool. This time, we will explain to you how computers serve as a teacher's tool. Accept communication as the primary benefits from computer through internet. Nowadays, computer is an effective tool for learning and by learning. Through computers, education express ideas for the betterment of good initiative to access information needed for learning. In this lesson, the computer as a teacher tool can support the constructivist and social constructivist paradigms of constructivist of learning. Constructivism was introduced by Jean Piaget in 1981 and Jerome Bruner in 1990. They defined constructivism as the process for making knowledge applicable to real life. In a classroom setting, it is the ability of students to build their own learning through analyzing to making their own perspective about what learning are. Social constructivists defined as learning centered through socialization. We develop the knowledge by giving and taking process to achieve the objectives of social learning. Experience can help individuals to develop and improve the social constructivists.
Nowadays, computers serve as a primary tool in teaching learning process. There are so many websites recommending so much information about the task for computer as a center of learning. Computer enhance the ability to embrace authentic education for globally competent. Computer information tool view the information about the hardware, software, and setting that are used. Information tool it provide vast amount of information in various form such as text, graphics, sounds, and video. One of the example of communication information tool is the internet. It provides a data form which user and can access globally information resources. These include latest news, sport development, and even educational information directly useful to co-constructive tool. To work cooperatively and construct a shared understanding of new knowledge. The example of electronic whiteboard. Constructive tool. The computer itself can be used for manipulating information, utilizing one's understanding, and building new knowledge. Example is Microsoft Word. Situating tool. By means of virtual reality or RS extension system, the computer can create 3D images on display to give the users that feeling that are situated in the environment. Example is flight simulation. The internet and education. Internet, the largest and far-flung network system of all systems.
Okay.
How is everything coordinated through internet? This is done through standard protocol called TCP or IP. To gain access to the internet, the computer must be equipped with a so-called server. Server is a special software or program that uses internet protocol. Getting around the computer. The most attractive way to move around the internet is called browsing. World Wide Web is an internet subset of text, images, and sound are linked together to allow users to access data or information needed. The program called browser, the user can use a mouse to print and click on screen icons to surf the internet, particularly the World Wide Web. Uses of internet in education. Collaborate, connect, and contribute in learning. Sharing online resources with each other. Social networking. Here are some applications in accessing the internet such as Twitter, Facebook, Google, and World Wide Web. Internet has their advantages and disadvantages in education purposes. Advantages of Internet. Quick and easy to access. It contains topical, up-to-date information. It retrieves lots of information. Disadvantages of Internet. Wrong information. Addicted to the Internet. Waste a lot of time. Students fail to manage their time efficiently. You can easily access with the use of internet in different perspectives that allows teaching learning process via ICT as the center of learning. Learning with computers and internet. To replace writing on the chalkboard or whiteboard, instead of writing on a board, instructor or student take note on the computer and projects this onto the screen so the whole class can see this. Distance learning with the internet. Distance education is that educational information and instruction is taught to learners who are physically distant from the source of that information instruction, also called distance learning, provides learning chances to people who could not afford time or money for traditional classes or who live in remote areas far from schools. Internet as a communication tool. Communication is very important for man because it is the only way we can exchange ideas and information. There are various ways by which we can communicate with one another. Today, there are means of communication such as telephones, radio, television, and mostly recently, the internet. Three tools for communication. We have three tools for communication, namely email, instant messaging, and asynchronous discussion. Email or electronic email is communication through the electronic communication system. Through email, messages are typed, sent, stored on one's computer and retrieved. For educational purposes, email has been an important tool by which instructors at the elementary and secondary level and parents will keep communication lines open. It has also helped students maintain a closer contact with instructor at all levels of education. Instant messaging or IMs is more Instant messaging or IMs is more instantaneous than emails. With IMs, a user maintains a list of people with whom she wants to communicate. Lastly, asynchronous discussion is an educational online tool by which instructor and student can interact via discussion without the constraint of time and classroom. Jessica. Here are some applications we can use in order as a tool for communication is any purposes, especially the internet. Internet as a tool for inquiry. The word the World Wide Web and web exploration tools. The World Wide Web interconnects information sources by a way of hypermedia links, especially software called browser. Browser is required to connect and to interpret the protocol used by web servers. A browser provides a graphic interpret so that following links from one web page to another is very easy and allows interactive involvement with a full range of hypermedia, text, image, video, and audio. Number 2, keeping track of online resources. When using the web as an inquiry tool, there is typically an exploratory phase. During this phase, the learner is looking around to try to see what useful resource might be available. It is important to have an efficient method for retaining a list of the sites that should be visited again. Saving a list of bookmarks, Netscape Navigator, or favorites, Internet Explorer is an easy to keep track of valuable resources. Number 3, locating information, browsing and searching. There are two general techniques of Internet as tool for inquiry. Number 1, browsing. Browsing is based on a hierarchical directory of headings and subheadings. To locate information, you select from these headings until you get to a listing of links to your interest. Number 2, searching. Searching involves the use of an outline database. A user submits a query and then examines websites that match the terms provided in the query. Number 4, issues in using internet resources. Why some people are discriminating internet. Typically, the internet offers a great and increasing amount of information with at least some connection to topics students are investigating. An important educational change
is in finding ways to improve the efficiency of the students' experience in working with this content. Number 5. Using the web in your classroom. The internet can be used to deliver a variety of learning resources. Tutorials and instructional resources have been developed to serve an instructional purpose. In a way, such resources have been pre-processed for students.
As we discussed, computer is a good teacher through promulgating so much application to authenticate information you want to gain. Thus, computer can be an instrument for you to learn more about it. Teacher education implement ICT or information and communication technology used for practices in teaching process to comfort more attractive in processing learners' attention. Now, we comprise computer to entertain you more on technology as a teacher to think how ICT improve us. This is necessary for education of being globally competent. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you learned something. This presentation was made by Ronnie Aguinaldo, Joanne Tiado, Julian A. Mateo, Richelle R. Ramirez, and Jessica Ignacio. A vote is true. A both third year students major in Filipino at CSU Sanchez Mira.